SmokingGunJerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Spring has arrived. The temperatures are rising, and it's time to get your equipment ready for the season. Landmark Implement has high-quality used John Deere planters, sprayers, and tractors, priced to move and ready to work for you. Take advantage of unbeatable deals and flexible financing to upgrade your operation without stretching your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or browse our full inventory online at landmarkimp.com. Before these deals are done, experience the Landmark difference.
Are you a fan of local wine, craft beer, cider, or spirits? Don't miss SIP Nebraska's 12th anniversary celebration May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park and join others who share your passion for great drinks. Enjoy unlimited tastings, live music, delicious food, artisans, and lawn games as you celebrate Nebraska's vibrant beverage industry. And when you find one you love, you can buy a bottle to take home. Choose your ticket package at sipnebraska.com. The SIP Nebraska Spring Festival, a Blur event, May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park in Ashland.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Amon Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a four-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats, including Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Rashawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Email Jake at theticketfm.com for more questions or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Early bird registration goes through April 20th and overall registration goes through May 30th.
Coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio, from the heart of Lincoln, America. Expanding awareness about the TeamMates program and the ever-growing need for mentors. This is TeamMates Timeout with TeamMates CEO Des Moines Adams and Marketing and Communications Manager Ashton Otter.
Well, happy Tuesday, everyone. You are live. TeamMates Timeout with Demo and Ash. Ash is still in the house. She's with us. She's wearing her proud red and white, which these are our general traditional TeamMates colors. But I chose to wear black and white.
And why is that, Demo?
Because I wanted to wear a black TeamMates shirt because I'm sitting next to a black shirt. Right. But I got to introduce you right because we're going to talk and, you know, you may find it weird that you have another player that has been a fan of you, and you're going to learn more about this whole 98 story. But I want to introduce you proper, just out of respect from, I mean, as a big brother, as a mentor, as a role model, even though I met you for the first time in 2017, we got 3-time national championship. Two-time All-American, College Hall of Fame, Nebraska Athletics Hall of Famer, Orange Bowl Hall of Famer, 9-year NFL career with the Rams, Seahawks, Super Bowl champion with the St. Louis Rams, and he's currently the current director of marketing for Gershman Mortgage. Grant Wistrom, black shirt, my brother.
What's going on?
Welcome to the show.
I'm going to come here every Tuesday to get my bucket filled.
Hey.
Because that feels good. I'm not going to lie. That feels real good.
Hey, I mean, the good old days, as we get older, like, I mean, we reminisce about the good old days, right?
Yes, we do.
So, Grant, I got to start off, and people are probably dying to hear that, one, you're back in Lincoln.
Yep.
But what brings you back to Lincoln, Nebraska?
It could not be for a better reason. Our daughter graduated high school semester early and came up here and enrolled, and she's playing soccer here at the university. So
Okay.
I think if she'd have gone to any other school in the country, we probably wouldn't have made the trip. But when we come back here to God's country, when she's here, it's like, man, why not? Let's make the jump. So
Wow. So did she come here? Like, did she come here because you played here, or like, what was how did all of this kind of happen?
she came here in spite of me playing here. Like, I really think it was a detriment, me being who I am and playing here. And I made a mistake early on. And she came up here for an ID camp. She was probably a freshman or sophomore in high school. And they invited her to come up. So we came in, and it was at the Hawk Center.
Mm-hmm.
And she's getting out of the truck. And I start getting out of the truck, and she's like, Dad, you can't come in. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't come in? She's like, parents don't come to these things. I go, Charlie, do you know what town you're in? I go, I can do whatever I want to here. And that was the wrong thing to say to the wrong person, because she's the type of person who wants to do everything on her own. She wants to earn it, which I respect the heck out of. But yeah, and so, we've had some awkward conversations. She doesn't like it, the comparisons. But, it is what it is. And she's here, and she loves the girls. She loves the program. She loves Coach Walker. She loves the school. It's just been a great experience for her so far.
Did you bring the kids back when they were little to any games?
Yeah, they got to come to a couple games,
Yeah.
got to shoot the Wiener Schlinger and all that good stuff. So yeah, I tried to indoctrinate them into it as early as I could. But being in Southwest Missouri, we don't get to watch a lot of Husker games. So it was a little bit of a trial, but man, she's here. At first, it was anywhere but Nebraska. And then it was like Florida, Texas, California, anywhere warm. And just as the process went on, the recruiting process went up through, the circle just kept getting tighter. And I think she realized that mom wasn't going to be a car drive away if she's in California. Yeah. So, being here, and now we moved up here. She's 20 minutes from home. I think sometimes we're probably a little too close for her.
Yeah.
But, we're all figuring it out.
Yeah.
So Ashton, she's born and raised in Lincoln. I'm from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I didn't come up here until 98, so we missed each other. But Ash, you were here when Grant played.
I was.
Talk about just the hype, because like I say, I watched tape on you. Of course, I see the reels, but I wasn't up here when you were killing it, when you were smashing it. But Ash, what do you remember about Grant?
So my family had season tickets for like 30 plus years. And of course it was during the Nebraska heyday. So when you're like, hey, we could get Grant Wistrom on the show, I'm like, seriously? Like, is this like a real thing? Cause like growing up, it's like you guys, Wistrom, Peter, Makovica, like all of those names, like that was like football, Husker football, like royalty. So it's a huge deal. Like, especially if you grew up in the 90s, and then to watch these guys play, and then they all had like awesome pro careers too. So it's so cool, not to be like a fangirl or anything, but I was like, this is so cool.
Like I said, I appreciate it. I'll be here next Tuesday. We can do this again, fill my bucket, and make me feel good.
So, the cool thing that, I heard through the grapevine that you was moving back through your teammate, Jason Peters. So sounds like you still stay in touch with some of your teammates.
Yeah. They're brothers. And you know that. I mean, you're out there fighting every day. You're bleeding together, and they're brothers. And I love Jason like he is my brother. And man, that was another big part of coming back here, getting to be with him more, and just all the guys who got to play with. It's pretty cool about how many guys stay around here that played here.
Yeah, but I'm assuming most people don't know where people live, but I think it's okay to say that out of all of the places you could have lived, you end up living next to your former coach, Coach Osborne.
Yep. Didn't know that was going to happen. We had no idea you lived there until after we bought it. And then I shot him a text. I said, hey, Coach, we bought that old house across from you. And his reply was, well, I guess I better clean up my act then. And I said, yeah, you probably need to work on that a little bit.
So talk about being recruited from high school, because you're originally from Missouri, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming you played every position in high school. I mean, this is what we do. So what positions did you play? And then when you got recruited, who recruited you and what were they recruiting you to play?
I played tight end and defensive end in high school and deep snapped. And only one school recruited me as a tight end. I was a pretty good tight end, not as good as Tracy. He probably had better hands. He's a better athlete than me, but I'm a better athlete than he is. He might be a little bit smarter. But yeah, Michigan State was the only school that recruited me as a tight end. And coming out of high school, I wouldn't say every school that I wanted to recruit me was recruiting me, but the ones that I was really excited about recruiting me. I think probably the only ones maybe that weren't that I would have hoped they had a little interest in me, and I'm glad they didn't. Texas, because I can't imagine going to there now. That dirty word. And then like the University of Florida, I would love to have been recruited by them, but it's just weird how it works. I went on my first trip to Michigan. It was my first visit. And I promised my dad before I went on my trips that I would take every visit. I wouldn't commit on any visit. And so I went there, had an amazing time. I'm like, nope, this is where I belong. And just as the process continued to go through, I came up here on my visit, liked what I felt here, but I didn't get to hang out with a lot of the guys that I was going to be playing with. And that was what was really important to me when I picked a school. It's like, I just want to like the guys that I want to be with for the next 4 years.
Right.
And you guys know what that's like.
Yeah.
I mean, the locker room's everything. And so I didn't get to meet a lot of the younger players. So, I mean, the world works in mysterious ways, and, man knows what he's doing. And my dad was in Houston, Texas. And at the time, did you play for? No, Coach Samuel wasn't here when you were there. Yeah. So Tony Samuel was the defensive end coach, and he called my dad and he said, "Hey, Ron, I just want to talk to you about what Grant's thinking, how things are going." And my dad said, "Tony, sorry to say it, but I think he's probably going to go to Michigan." And Coach Samuel was like, "Really?" And he starts talking to Dad. He's like, "I don't think that Grant really realizes how he's going to fit into that scheme, and I'd love an opportunity to sit down with you." And my dad said, "Well, Tony, I'd love to have that opportunity as well, but I'm in Houston." And Tony goes, "Well, funny how things work out. I'm in Houston right now too." So, yeah, right. So they got together, had some dinner, a couple drinks, and Dad came home. He's like, "Grant, I think you need to look at Nebraska again." So I came back up here on an unofficial visit and just had an amazing time. I was with guys that I was going to be with for the next 4 years, and just fell in love with the place, and prayed about my school commitment probably harder than I've prayed about anything in my life. And then one morning I just woke up and I knew this is where I was going. I just woke up and was like, "Oh, I'm going to Nebraska."
Nice.
And man, I couldn't have written the story any better if I wanted to.
Yeah.
My 4 years here would have propelled me on to later the platform it gave me with the foundation that we had for so long. I mean, it just everything worked out.
So we're going to talk about teammates mentoring here in a little bit, but it sounds like the second visit, there were some teammates that influenced you that you felt like you could connect with. Do you remember who some of those teammates were at the time?
Oh yeah, I slept on their couch for about 2 months in the summer, because I came up as soon as high school was over. I was like, I'm going up there. And so it was before, guys graduated early and came on campus and all that. So I lived on their couch for 2 months in the summer so I could be up here training. But it was Matt Verzal, who owns Paisanos in Omaha. Still great friends. Actually stopped and saw a sister a little bit earlier today when I was out doing some work. Ryan Twilliger, Scott Saltzman. I mean, some guys, unless you're a huge Husker fan, you might not know who they are.
Yeah.
But guys that I fit in with. And I mean, that's what started it for me, those guys, and it just went from there.
And when you think about just teammates, kind of, what we're trying to do with our young kids, when you hear him talk about that fit, let Grant know what we do by making a match with an adult to a young person.
Absolutely. So for those listening, how you become a mentor, you apply online first and you fill out this application. On this application, we ask you a bunch of different questions, like what are your interests? What are your hobbies? Because to your point, making sure the relationship is kosher with your teammates, we want to make sure that mentor-mentee relationship is also something that is going to fit like a glove. And so with that, after they do the application process, of course, safety being one of our top core values, we do a reference check, background check, and then the building and program coordinators are responsible for making those matches, because who better knows those kids than those program and building coordinators who are in that school. And so they have the opportunity to make that match with that mentor and that mentee. So to Grant's point about the importance of having teammates and people you get along well with, like that's exactly what we do here.
And Grant, when you came, I mean, you played 4 years, so you played right away. Your freshman year, sophomore, junior year, and like I say, me growing up Pine Bluff, Arkansas, I had to read about this decision that you and Jason made after your junior year to come back. We got a lot of people today, Grant. They don't appreciate the good old days.
Right.
Can you remind the people out there why you and Jason came back?
It was, we had ownership in the program. We felt that, for 3 years, we built this into the best college football business in the country. And when we left out, after our junior year, when we lost, that was left a horrible taste in my mouth. And think about it. You go, I think we were like 12-2 or something. We lost 2 games, but still that's a failure at that point in Husker history. That's a failure. So we didn't want to leave the program worse than we found it.
Yeah.
And so, we sat down, we went in, we talked with Coach. We were both contemplating coming out after our junior year. And, and Coach Osborne didn't do anything to persuade us other than just saying, hey, let me make some phone calls for you. So we're sitting in his office and he called some contacts he had in the NFL. And, both of our parameters were probably, hey, if we're top 10 picks, then it's a business decision at that point. So, he gets on the phone, calls a few guys, and, the response was, yeah, probably not going to be a top 10 pick. So that made the decision really easy for us. Like, hey, let's go back. Let's run it again. Let's see what we can do, and
no big deal.
Yeah. Let's do it again. And at the time, none of this came out until Coach Osborne wrote his book. We had no idea that he'd already talked to Coach Solich about taking over. And so, like, when I found that out, that, Coach was probably going to retire, but decided to come back because, we were honoring the school and he wanted to honor us and our commitment. I was like, wow, this guy has given everything for 24 years to the university. He sacrificed family, friends, time with loved ones. And so for him to come back just because we said we wanted to come back, like, wow. What a commitment. That guy didn't know us anything, but that's just the man that he is and the man that you all work for.
Yeah. And actually, that's what we're celebrating this month. We're celebrating 34 years of what him and his wife, Nancy, started, all with 22 students being mentored by football players, inspiring them to use their role to be positive role models, which today he is still proud of all of the players, knows of my name. So he recruited me. I never got to play for him, but when he came back as AD, he still remember my name.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, just every time I say him, how's Ron? How's Kathy? How's Chance and Tracy? Of course he remembers Tracy. He probably doesn't want to, but no, he is an amazing human being, and the world would be a heck of a lot better if more people operated like him.
And we're about to go to a break, but in the second segment, we want to dive more into this man, Tom Osborne, who we still call Coach. The influence that he had on you, the influence that he had on others, because his influence still lives today, but it's through mentors. And we're passing that influence down to our young people so that they can be winners in school and eventually be winners in life. Right now, 9,000 plus students have a mentor. That means we have 9,000 adults that are sacrificing, giving 30 to 45 minutes of their time once a week to make life better for a young person. So that man, Coach Osborne, he is living through currently 9,000 plus mentors. And over the last 34 years, he has inspired over 50,000 mentors to support 50,000 students. So when you hear those numbers before Austin puts on the music, how does that make you feel?
Makes me feel like I need to do more. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Think about it. I think about how much time he has created to give back to people, with his leverage, how many years of mentorship he's been able to influence. It's crazy.
Ooh. So Ash, you know what I'm thinking, right?
I do know what you're thinking.
You know, you kind of set yourself up, Grant.
I did.
You kind of set your and I was just simply talking about the man, but you kind of made yourself vulnerable. But that's what Coach Osborne do, and that's what we're trying to do. Listeners, watchers, we have Black Shirt, former Husker, All-American, Grant Wistrom in the house, who also wore number 98. But you wore it better than anyone else. We're going to talk about that the second segment. You are live with Teammates Timeout with Demo Nash.
Empower a child today with the TeamMates mentoring program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the TeamMates mentoring program today.
Are you a fan of local wine, craft beer, cider, or spirits? Don't miss SIP Nebraska's 12th anniversary celebration, May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park, and join others who share your passion for great drinks. Enjoy unlimited tastings, live music, delicious food, artisans, and lawn games as you celebrate Nebraska's vibrant beverage industry. And when you find one you love, you can buy a bottle to take home. Choose your ticket package at sipnebraska.com. The SIP Nebraska Spring Festival, a Blur event, May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park in Ashland.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with a light breeze. An afternoon high near 67. Tonight, a chance of showers late, otherwise partly cloudy and a low near 46. And tomorrow, a chance of showers throughout the day, otherwise mostly cloudy with a high near 66. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at cobblecars.com. Stock numbers G1211492, G1877747, and G1965999.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Back to Teammates Timeout with Demo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You are back with Teammates Timeout with Demo and Ash. We just finished up first segment, black shirt, number 98. You know, Grant, I got to tell you this story because growing up in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, I really didn't follow Husker football. I came to a football camp this summer before my senior year because it was the cheapest football camp that I could afford to go to. Love the turf, love the weight room, and that kind of put me on the radar. And so I got recruited, got offered a scholarship. I came here, and they asked me, what number do you want? So, I'm thinking I'm kind of stuffed, because, I'm coming to the best team in the nation. They just won a national championship. So I said, I want to wear an ugly number, and I want to make it look good. Give me number 98. Not knowing who wore number 98, before, with confidence saying, give me this ugly number 98. And then, of course, the more that I learned about what you accomplished, what you achieved, not just on the field, but off the field, academic All-American. Talk about you kind of being a role model, whether you like it or not. And so I didn't achieve first team All-American. I was second team All-American. I graduated in 3 years with 5 minors. I tried to fill your shoes, but I say all that to say, hearing that you are a role model, whether you like it or not, how does that make you feel?
We're all role models, either a good one or a bad one. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what you do. You're always going to be a role model. So be a good one, set an example. And I don't get it right all the time. My kids would be the first one to, they love to get on, grab this microphone and tell me times I dropped the ball. They enjoy that, but just trying to do the right thing whenever you can, and making things better than you found them, pouring into people, and just trying to live the right life. But once again, I fail on a daily basis, but but I always feel like I have good intentions.
But you do accept that you are a role model.
100%.
And we all are role models, especially us adults. And your advice, be a good one.
Yeah. You're going to be a good one or a bad one way or the other. So pick the good side.
Talk about Coach Osborne a little bit more, because you mentioned, when you and Jason sat down and, he always gave sound advice, what he poured into the players, the sacrifice, for him to stay, hearing that you and Jason and others stayed. Let the listeners know what he meant to you and who he still means to you today.
Whenever, and anybody that's ever played for him knows that Coach Osborne cares you more about a person than as a player, and he only wants what's best for you. And our sophomore year, my sophomore year, when the whole Lawrence Phillips thing was going down, people on the outside thought it was about winning football games. That's why Coach let him back. Coach brought him back on because he knew that was the only thing that Lawrence had. And without football, Lawrence goes down the path he went much more quickly. So he stood in the fire. He knew he was going to get just roasted for that. And his character was going to be questioned. His legacy would be questioned, but he didn't care because that's what was best for Lawrence. And I still feel that to this day. He cares more about you as a human than he ever did as a player. And it excited me when I knew that I was buying a house next door to him, because I looked at him like I look at my dad. I put him on the same platform, and he's getting to the age where he might need me to reach, put something heavy on top shelf, change the light bulb, whatever, keep him off ladders for sure. Right. So I'm there now in that, and he's yet to call me. He's yet to ask for anything, but I'm waiting. I'm sitting by my phone just so I can pay it back in some way, shape, or form, because he's given us all so much that got to play for him. So just to be able to, in a time of maybe he might need me, to be able to just be there in case he does, I'm excited to fill that role if it ever happens.
Yeah.
Grant, talk about the importance of mentoring and coaching and why young people need a mentor. Because you coach high school and I'm sure you coach your kids. Talk a little bit about that.
I get more excitement out of coaching kids
Mhm.
than I ever did playing. As you know, my son was younger, he played football, and it wasn't for him, and I should have known that football wasn't in the cards for him. When after the first practice, he took his helmet off and he's like, "Dad, my head's hot and it's all wet." I said, "Dude, that's sweat and you're gonna live." So I should have known there it probably wasn't in the cards for him. But even then, when the light switches and they get it, and it connects the dots, and they're better than they were when they came to practice that day. That's the reward. And so getting to do that, my kids, I didn't get to coach my daughter in a lot because I don't know anything about soccer. I coached volleyball one year and I know less than my volleyball about soccer, but I still was like, I'll coach it. See how hard can it be? I learned a lot, but just being there, and even if you're not imparting knowledge or wisdom, you're just there every time they turn around. So that they know that you always have their back. And they're going to make mistakes, and they're going to stumble and fall, but you're going to love them at the end of the day. And you're going to pick them up, you're going to hug them, and you're all right, let's figure this out.
I love it.
So just the way that you describe mentoring and coaching, that's really the concept of TeamMates mentoring. Were you familiar with TeamMates mentoring when you was a player?
Yeah, I knew Coach had the program. Yeah.
And so, but yet you guys were winning. I mean, you guys were dominating. I mean, competing against the best in the Big 12. But yet here is a coach and his wife that are doing something off the field for the community. Maybe at the time it didn't sink in, but now that you look back, seeing that he embraced being a role model, not just Coach Osborne, but what he stood for the community. How does that make you feel just looking back now that you're realizing he was more than a coach?
Once again, pretty small, because everybody thinks they're so busy. I don't have time for this. I can't do that. There's not enough hours in a day. Challenge you to find somebody that was more busy than that man during that time frame, but yet he still found time. So there's always time there. It's whether you want to make the margins for that time or not.
Yeah.
He nailed it on the head with that. You always have time. You make time. And we talk about this all the time because Demo is the CEO. Coach, not only is he a legendary football coach, he was in the legislature, he's a grandfather, he's a husband, he's a father, balancing all these hats. He still has a mentee today as how old is Coach now?
He's 88 years old.
88 years old. So if that man can make time, anybody can make time. And again, it's just once a week, 30 to 45 minutes to an hour in school. So you meet with the child at the school, and then once a week.
So Grant, we got about 500 students right now that would love to be in TeamMates right here in Lincoln, but we don't have enough mentors. In Omaha Metro, we have another 500 students that would love to have that additional role model, a mentor, someone that can listen to them and be there for them, but we don't have enough mentors. Program-wide, we're in 5 states. Nebraska.
6.
Oh, 6. Thank you for correcting me. Rockport, Missouri, by the way. Nebraska, Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, South Dakota, and Wyoming. We have at least 1,200 students that are on the waiting list. Now, pretty sure you still got a little bit of fire when it comes to like getting people inspired and pumped up and motivated. What can you tell the watchers and the listeners right now that make the excuse that they don't have time to be a mentor?
I think we touched on it earlier. A gentleman like Coach Osborne in the busiest time of his life still had time. We all have time. Once again, it's what's valuable to you. If it's valuable to you, you're going to create time for it. So, if you want to improve the life of a young person, make time. And that's all it comes down to. You can find the time. Because my wife gets on to me about it. She's like, you don't have time to do this, and that, but you got time to do that.
Oh.
Well, 'cause that's important to me. I always got time for that. But yeah, I mean, the time is there. You just got to, if it's important to you, you'll find time for it.
Now, have you seen a shift in young people just in terms of maybe what they needed when you were young versus what young people need today?
I think so. I'm blessed to come from a home where mom and dad were there all the time and there for us. But I think that, that's becoming less and less frequent in today's world. So especially young men, I think there's a lot of opportunities to be there for young men, teach them how to be men. I think there's a lot of things in this world right now that are somewhat emasculating, and you're not allowed to be, you're an expression of your true self. And this world needs men. And so I think the more people we can get trying to bring young men up to, not to be a dominant, chauvinistic type of person, but to be a man and what a man stands for. There's always room for that in this world.
Yeah. And there's data that shows that right now, 60 to 40 female to males that have a mentor. It should be 50 to 50, but we don't have enough men that are stepping up to say, let me give my time. Let me use my role to be a role model. What is it with men these days, given that there are young men that need role models? Why do you think there aren't enough men that are just willing to step up?
I don't know, because I haven't done it. You know what I mean? I haven't stepped up to say, I want to be a part of this program. And, I got excuses. We all got them, but mine aren't any more valid than anyone else's. It's just what's important to you. So I don't know, man. I can't answer that question.
Now, because you're Grant Wistrom, because we both wore the same number, I'm going to give you grace because I would say no one has really asked you yet. So how about I just make the ask?
You make
Grant Wistrom, you are neighbors to former head coach and co-founder of TeamMates Mentoring. Now that you're back in Lincoln, Nebraska, you know the value of time. Would you be willing to be a TeamMates mentor beginning in the fall of 2025?
I would definitely continue this conversation with you, Damone. I gotta talk to the boss. I don't do anything with my time without clearing it with the boss first.
Smart man.
But I would love to explore this conversation more with you.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna make 2 acts. I need her to be a mentor.
That's the type of person you need in your program. She is a smart, strong woman, and she has an incredible backbone. I mean, she can make it. She's 5 foot tall and a stack of phone books, but she can make a 6'5", former NFL player shaking his shoes when she's around. So
yeah,
she would be a good one.
So you're a stats guy. Ash, why don't you share with Grant some of our stats? Because TeamMates Mentoring, I feel like we're winning every single year because we're helping students to be winners in school so that they can be winners in the game of life. Why don't you share some stats with Grant?
Yes. And so these are from the 2023-2024 school year. So heads up to all of our chapters right now. Make sure you're submitting that data to Tori because we're going to need all these new stats here coming up. But I'm just going to go through some of the biggest ones and the impact of that mentor-mentee relationship. So one of the first ones, 59% of TeamMates mentees showed an improvement in grades. 71% had fewer unexcused absences. 81% reported that they were more engaged in their schools and or communities. One of my favorite stats, 87% had fewer disciplinary referrals. And then switching gears to the mentor side, 92% of TeamMates mentors report leaving their mentoring time in a better mood when they arrived. And Demo, you and I, we can speak to that. Like meeting with my mentee is like one of the best parts of my week because she's a 5th grader and we can just go, we can play basketball, we can color, we can talk, just listening about like what is important in that little 5th grade's world at the time, and then how you're making an impact in their life. So like, even though the school year is starting to wind down, I'm like, oh, we only have like 3 more meetings left. And then I got to wait until the fall comes back. So just, I can, as a mentor, I can speak to that fact on that last bullet point.
So when you hear some of those stats, just in terms of improvement grades, fewer unexcused absences, feeling more engaged, but also fewer disciplinary referrals. I mean, we're talking 87% of students that are not going to the principal's office, that are not going to the school counselor's office. You mentioned Lawrence Phillips earlier. There are students that are benefiting from having an additional caring adult. So teammates mentoring is still winning. What do you have to say with some of that data?
Not surprised by it. I mean, when you've got a positive influence in your life, and I'm sure it's the highlight of, your mentees week. When's Ashton coming to see me? I mean, and so I'm not surprised by it at all. But I mean, those are amazing stats. But and that just shows just the power of time.
We, as teammates, had an event today, and I had the opportunity to just kind of stand back and watch some of our mentors and mentees interact. And one was a little boy, and he was looking around for his mentor, couldn't find him. But the minute he found him, it's like his whole demeanor changed, and it was like he was bright, he was happy, so excited to see his mentor. So for those listening, the impact that you have on this child, it's incredible. There's no words to it. I was watching today and just watching the relationships just interact with each other, and it's pretty incredible. So what we're doing, Demo, we're doing something right.
And this is the legacy off the field that Tom and Nancy pretty much are doing in over 200 communities. Like I say, we're in 6 states, but Lincoln right now, we're serving 1,300 students. 500 students are on the waiting list. And so, Grant, I know you got to talk to the boss, but when you do, let her know if she's watching or if you're listening, we're talking in the fall. And so, school is wrapping up now. And so, www.teammates.org. Are you on social media?
Not too much. I'm just outside of that age range there. I get on Twitter more than anything.
All right. So
hear people rant, but that's about it.
So, like us, follow us. We would love for you to really get connected to the good work that we're doing. On Saturday, even though there were lots of spring events that were going on at Memorial Stadium, but even Coach Rule, who is not from Nebraska, when he came to Nebraska, not only did he connect with Coach Osborne, but one of the first things that Coach talked to Coach Rule about was teammates. And he's been a supporter of teammates. He's supporting us not only financially, but as of Monday, he's made a commitment to support teammates with his time. He wants his coaches to become mentors. The AD is going to become a mentor. The AD allowed us to speak to 300 plus of the athletic department staff to become a mentor. He has given them the green light to say, you work 40 hours a week. I need for you to give 1 hour to be a mentor. So talk about just what Coach Osborne is still doing, his spirit. When you hear what he is still doing, and he's not on the field, he's 88. I mean, impact, right?
Yeah, he's still winning. He's still winning every day. And once again, it just comes down to time on task, and just once again, the amount of time he's pulled from other people and given back and used his leverage to do that. And now the university is jumping behind it even more, which I didn't know, which is amazing. That's awesome. And it just goes back to type of man he was, just how he operated while I was here, the legacy that he's created, and this is going to go on into perpetuity. I mean, I sure hope Coach is with us for a long time, but even when he's gone, teammates is still going to be here doing great things.
And he loves it when his former players can be involved in some way, shape, or form. And so for you to be on the show with us, I mean, you're giving your time tonight. And so I know Coach, even though he is a man of few words, he may not say that he appreciates having one of his former players live next to him, but I'm pretty sure he does. But
I don't know. After our 2 dogs are playing together, I don't know if he feels that way anymore. But
hey, a lot of people want to know, what are you doing in Lincoln? So, why don't you let everyone know, what you're up to?
Yeah. So one of the great things about coming back here, I was part of a team that started a roofing company last year. So right now, that's my full-time gig. I'm working in the roofing company. I'm going out. It's called Champ Roofing. and going out talking to insurance agents. I mean, geez, with the amount of storms that we have here, I mean, there's plenty of need for that. So that's pretty much my full-time gig right now. I love it. Get to go out and talk with fans all the time, and just I end up talking about football a lot more than I talk about roofs.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I know I'm here, and I know that gets me in the door. And once we're in the door, I know that Champ Roofing is going to do an amazing job for them. So it's usually an easy conversation to have.
And where can people go to learn more about
Champ Roofing? I wish I had my card on me, but we're Champ Roofing. You can look us up on the internet.
You don't know your own website?
Man, this is my
champ-roofing.com. That's why it's champ-roofing.com.
Thank you.
Director of marketing, man.
It's my second week on the job.
Hey, I'm trying to give you a shout out.
I appreciate it.
All right. So the third segment, we'll do it again.
All right.
Because,
you.
hey, I want to make
redeem myself.
Hey, you are live. Demo, Grant, and Ash. Teammates Timeout. We're going to be back for our last segment. Man, time flies by. But, man, it's nice to have former black shirt, All-American Grant Wistrom in the house. Don't go anywhere. We still got more teammates to talk about. But what it meant to be a teammate, we'll get back to.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Back to Teammates Timeout with Demo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Teammates Timeout with Demo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket. We are joined by none other than Husker Black Shirt National Champion, Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, Grant Wistrom. Grant, first of all, thank you again for spending your time with us today.
It's been fun.
I know one of the things that you did after, if I'm not mistaken, after your pro football career, you had created a foundation that actually helped kids. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that was the coolest part about being in the NFL is a platform that it gave you. And I think we started like my second year. And so we work with pediatric cancer and blood disorders.
Mm-hmm.
So we would take whatever, and I ended up getting like 4 or 5. Jared Tomich joined in on it for a while.
Oh, yeah.
When he was down with the Saints, but I ended up getting about 4 or 5 other guys like from NFL teams or old college teammates in the NFL. And we would take kids from whatever city we were in and we'd go up to Wausau, Wisconsin for like 5 days. We go snowmobiling, snow skiing, dog sled rides, sleigh rides, bonfires, everything. And it was amazing how the people just rolled everything out for us and just like, here, take it, go have fun. And when we would bring the kids, we'd bring their nurses to make sure that they're well taken care of, but we wouldn't let them talk to their parents. So for a lot of these kids, it's the first time in their life, because I know how protective I am of my kids, and that's when they're incredibly healthy.
Yeah.
These parents are giving us their kids that have cancer, sickle cell, and we're going to Wisconsin and we're not letting their kids call them. So there's a huge amount of trust placed in us. But, the first night the kids were crying. You're not crying. We're not, if a kid had to call mom, we're going to let them call mom. We're not going to tie them to the bed. But, like missing mom and dad, by the second night, they did not care anymore. And they were just going hard all day long in the pool, or on the skis. I mean, kids skiing with like one arm and one leg, just bombing down the hill, not caring at all. So that was by far and away the coolest platform that we had. And we ran that all the way through till I was in Seattle, and then we tried doing it when we were back in Springfield, but there's not a children's hospital. So you end up going to 50 different pediatricians trying to present your program. So it was harder to get kids to show up to your events than to actually put on the event. So at that point, we kind of dissolved it. But by far and away, the coolest thing I've ever done, and still get messages from the kids. And now they're grown and have kids of their own, and just seeing what they've done with their lives, or getting messages from moms and dads whose kids didn't make it, and just, hey, thank you so much. That was, letting them be a kid for 5 days was the best gift you could have ever given us. So just feel really blessed that we had an opportunity to do that.
So you still have a platform here in Lincoln. You will always be a national champion. And so your business is called Champ Roofing. And for people to do business with, as Ash mentioned, national champion, former All-American, Hall of Famer, where do people go to connect with you?
Well, like found out earlier, you go to champ-roofing.com to find our website, or you can call me.
Oh.
All right, call me. Call me up. You need a roof. My number is 402-412-2025. You call me up.
Wow. Did he just share his
I did.
phone number
Call me up.
on 93.7 The Ticket?
Now, if you're calling, you better be calling about a roof, because once again, the boss is she might pick it up too. So
What if I call you to talk crap about Jay Foreman?
That's okay
Is that
too.
on the table?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's always good too. Yeah, you can definitely do that as well.
You know, Grant, I got two more questions. You know, one, Coach Osborne, like I say, for you to be neighbors with him is one thing, but if there was one piece of advice that he gave you that you still use in your life today, what advice is that?
Man, like I there weren't a lot of just sit down, and I'm horrible about it. I'm always what's next. I don't do a lot of reflecting. Unfortunately, it's not in my DNA, and gets me in trouble. But I feel like it was more just seeing how he lives his life and what's important to him and how he treats people, and wish I had more of that in me. I like just the connections that he makes with people and how he makes people feel valued when he talks to them. Because this is the greatest coach in the history of college football, like you touched on, or we talked earlier. He remembers every guy that ever played for him, and probably remembers their mom and dad's name and brother's name. So you feel important to him. You feel like you mattered to him. So the fact that he can make people feel like they matter because they do to him, is probably the best lesson that I learned from him.
So his example.
Yeah, just how he, you know, a lot of people talk the talk, man, but you know, he walks the walk too.
So I got to ask before I let Ash close the show. Speaking of walking, if you were to walk in the shoes of an offensive player, if you played offense for the Huskers, what position would you play? And it can't be tight end.
What?
Because your brother played tight end.
Well, I would have been better than him, but oh man, I don't know. If there'd have been another position, I mean, deep snapper. I was pretty good deep snapper.
Really?
Yeah, I was our backup deep. And against Missouri, we actually, I forget, it was like junior or senior year, we had a three return men that were deep, because I forget what they did on their punt team, but I was actually a backup return guy too. Because I catch the ball, man. I got hands. But oh man, I don't know. Outside of defensive end, I'm not smart enough to be an offensive player. That playbook they got to memorize every week. I couldn't do that, so it definitely have to be on defense. I don't know if I was a little bit shorter, maybe linebacker.
All right.
You know, I don't know. Outside linebacker, maybe probably could have got it done there.
But the hidden, that's pretty much what you are wired to do, and the offense is just for softies.
Yeah,
is what I'm hearing.
I knew that I was made to play football at an early age. I remember being about 8 or 9 years old, playing tackle football, running off the field, saying, "You guys are gonna cheer for me if I knock the crap out of someone?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's have some more of this." So, yeah, I love the contact. I needed it as a young man. What a great outlet for me, and just, you know, I never thought it would propel me to where it put me, but it was just whatever spot I was at in my life. I'm going to do whatever I can to be, because I love football. Like, there's that scene in Rambo where Troutman's talking about, you know, the sculptor banging on this, you know, he's like, you know, the statue was always there. And so the football player was always inside of me. And even at a young age. And so to be able to find your purpose at such a young age was such a blessing. And just wherever I was, my whole goal was, if I'm playing high school football player, I'm going to be the best high school football player the school's ever seen. You know, I got to Nebraska, you know, I'm going to be the best defensive end I can possibly be here. And just having that attitude just kept propelling me. But I mean, football's given me more than I could ever want or dream for. And at some point I'm going to coach again, and I'm going to give back to it, because it is the greatest game. I think so. You don't have to be the best athlete. You just have to be willing to outwork the other guy. And that's what made me as a player. I certainly wasn't the best athlete, wasn't the fastest guy, strongest guy on the field, but I wasn't ever going to let anybody outwork me. And that's the one thing you can control, is just how hard you're going to work, never taking a play off and just going out there and playing to the whistle on every snap.
So, Grant, if there was a message to the people out there, we need more mentors. Everything that you just said, we're trying to coach young people to be winners in this game called life. Help us to recruit more mentors. What recruitment message can you tell those right now?
I'd say maybe think back to a time in your life where you could have used somebody to lean on. Maybe, a dark time where if you'd have just had a little bit of guidance, maybe you'd have made a different decision that would have impacted your life in a completely positive way and changed the direction of things. And the value that would have given, if you could have had that then, where would it change where you're at now? And just think about you be able to have that same impact on a young person's life now.
Paying it forward. Ash, I'm going to let you wrap it up.
All right. Well, again, Grant, thank you so much for your time and all your insight. This is probably one of my favorite guests that we've had.
Thank you, Ash, and I appreciate that.
Thanks. Go to teammates.org, click that button, become a mentor, or to donate. Again, we're always in need of mentors. This is Teammates Timeout with Demo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Empower a child today with the TeamMates mentoring program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the TeamMates mentoring program today.